My experiences with the supernatural started at a very young age. I say started because, well, it's still happening. The story starts with 4-year-old me having a really bad day. It was told to me by my grandmother. Because of my age, well, I don't really remember much of those days. And my parents don't like to talk about it. I have kids of my own now, and I know how bad things can get, but there's always a way to calm them down. Not me, though. Not on that day. I was having a real fit, crying angrily over everything. Nothing my parents tried could calm me down. I was throwing toys back at them, dumping any food or snacks they gave me all over the floor, and only crying harder and harder the more they tried. They're not sure what it is that happened. One moment I was good, and the next I was just throwing myself everywhere and yelling as loud as I could. It got to the point where they didn't know what else to do for me, so they put me in my bedroom hoping I cried it out and stopped, or just tired out and fell asleep. And I did. Stopped crying anyways. They only managed to take a few steps after leaving me in my room when I felt completely silent. And then I started laughing. Like, hysterically. As if everything they did to make me laugh before had just hit me. Mind you, the room is completely empty, with everything being took out as arsenal to calm crying angry little me. So not really sure what to think of it, my parents turned to each other confused and obviously a little freaked out and began walking back to my room. As they got to my door, the first thing they noticed was the cold. And somehow, although my light was on, my room was strangely dim. My father got in front with that little bit of nervousness making him protective. They couldn't see me at first from how dark the room had gotten. Not until I let out another laugh, and then they spotted me. Just standing there, in a corner of my room, laughing out loud while looking right at them. My mother ran in past my dad to grab me, panicking over how cold I had gotten in just those few moments. She hugged me as tight as she could, taking me outside with her. It became a thing for her to hug me as tight as she could. We didn't have the money to move out or just up and leave. We'd have to go back. But not that night. Whatever she saw made her not want to stay there. So she called my grandmother to see if we can stay at her house, and I cried no more. I'm older now, and my mother doesn't really like talking about it. Although at this point in my life, it'd probably be the easiest story to believe. She claims the look on my father's face made her feel like we had to run. She's never talked about what she saw when she looked at us, and I don't blame her. So I asked my dad one day. We wanted to know what he saw. And he just looked past me and said, "Don't worry. What your mother doesn't know won't hurt her." And well, he's right. Maybe next time, it'll let me tell you more. Thank you all for listening. I've been sitting on this for quite some time. Finally manned up. But please, like and subscribe. Help the motivation so I can get these stories out to you as quick as I can. And remember, if you don't do it, somebody else will. Until next time, what's your story?